Hey there everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Today, we're going to go over a new secret library mission with Princess Sofia. In the past, Sofia, with help from her Aunt Tilly, Princess Merida, and Minimus, rescued Massimo from an evil prince and helped him get to Wildwing Valley. Next, Sofia, with help from the lovable snowman Olaf, redeemed Miss Nettle in Friesenberg. Afterwards, Sofia helped a noble knight named Sir Jackson get the Icefire Shield and helped the kingdom make peace with the dragons there. And finally, after all that, Sofia traveled to Avalor to free Princess Elena from her amulet, and they teamed up together to defeat Shariki. But now, here we are in Season 4 of the show. And even with Elena free, Sofia has plenty more stories to give happy endings to. So, let's get started. Airing on Disney Junior on May 5th, 2017, this is The Secret Library, The Tale of the Eternal Torch. So, let's get started. In this episode, the Secret Library sends Sofia on a mission to help the dragons of the Blazing Palisades defend their home against invading sea serpents. James comes along to help her, but his brash attempts at heroics cause a heated situation. So, what did I think of this episode? Well, I gotta say that this was both a hot and wet episode. Meaning, I had lots of fun with this one. But before I get ahead of myself, let's move on to Mustang Notes. Now, as mentioned earlier, this is the 5th installment of the Secret Library story arc, preceded by the Secret Library, Olaf and the Tale of Miss Nettle, the Tale of the Noble Knight, and Elena and the Secret of Avalor. The Dragons of Enchantia make their second appearance in this episode, following their debut in the Curse of Princess Ivy special. Well, except for Flambeau, who makes his third appearance in the show, since the last time we saw him, he appeared as a judge in the Princess Prodigy episode. James is the second member of the royal family to go with Sofia on her mission. The first one was her Aunt Tilly in the first Secret Library episode. Also, during the opening, the episode's title is split into 2 parts, when the title card is presented. Lastly, the moral of this episode is always think before you act. As for the animation, well, in my opinion, the animation for this episode is flawless, and I really like how the fire and water effects are in this episode. Also, for those who haven't seen the Curse of Princess Ivy special, the Blazing Palisades is an island off the coast of Enchantia, which is inhabited by dragons, and it's filled with fiery craters everywhere. But when Sofia and James combined the Eternal Torch and Forever Fountain together, the whole island has volcanic fire at the top and watery geysers at the bottom, and a rainbow in the center, which makes the dragons and sea monsters learn to share the island and make peace together. Which means, at the end of the episode, the Blazing Palisades is renamed the Misty Palisades. Also, while the dragons do a short reprise of Smoke, Wings, and Fire, the official song in this episode is called This Island Belongs to Us, sung by both the Dragons of Enchantia and the sea monsters, who both claim the Blazing Palisades as their home. In my opinion, this is a catchy duel song. Plus, it sounds like a song that came from the 70s or 80s. What's more, this song gets a reprise when the dragons and sea serpents start to share their island. And now, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Our main character and story keeper, Princess Sofia, is once again voiced by Ariel Winter, who's best known from Modern Family, Speed Racer from 2008, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and just recently, Smurfs: The Lost Village. In this episode, not only does she support her brother in order to become a knight, but her goal is to help Everburn stop the sea monsters from taking over the Blazing Palisades. Next is Sofia's brother, Prince James, voiced by Nicholas Cantu, best known as Diego from Dora and Friends Into the City. And this fall, he'll be in the upcoming Hey Arnold Jungle movie. In my opinion, I think James is better than Amber. Why, you may ask? Well, unlike Amber, who's sometimes stubborn, spoiled, and very practical and traditional, James makes a very supportive brother for Sofia. He's also very fun-loving, but a tad mischievous. In this episode, ever since the Silent Night episode, James has been trained by Sir Finnegan to become a knight. However, while he's mostly successful with knight skills, his one problem is that he doesn't really think or look before doing something. So, Finnegan advises James to get more practice, as well as going on an adventure. This explains why James stowed away to the Blazing Palisades with Sofia. Next we come to the Elder Dragon, Everburn, voiced by Oliver Platt, who got to be in Legends of Oz: Dorothy's Return, and that disastrous 2012 film. Ugh. When we first saw him in Curse of Princess Ivy, Ivy tried to have him use his fire to destroy Sophia's amulet, so Ivy wouldn't return to the desert island where she came from. But thank goodness he didn't, otherwise Elena would have been killed. In this episode, it is revealed that Everburn and his dragons are in a feud against Aquilina and her sea serpents, who want to turn the Blazing Palisades into a water world using a forever fountain. Next we have the leader of the sea serpents, Aquilina, voiced by Carmen Carter, best known from Dancing with the Stars. She and her sea serpents live in the waters that surround the Blazing Palisades. They've been feuding with the dragons of Enchantia for generations. They believe the island should belong to them. Eventually, they obtained the Forever Fountain and planned to replace the Eternal Torch with it. They would then flood the Palisades and be able to take over. The rest of the sea serpents are voiced by Pat Music, Candy Milo, and Kathy Cavadini. And now it's time to move on to my final words. Overall, The Secret Library, The Tale of the Eternal Torch, is a hot and cool episode to come from Sofia's show. The animation is fantastic. The characters from the dragons and sea monsters are zany and whimsical. And I think James and Sofia make a great team together, just like they do during Flying Derby and everything else they had in the past. The song featured in this episode is very catchy to listen to, and the moral of always thinking before you do something is a very useful value to live by. So, my rating for this episode will be an 81% out of 100. So, I guess you guys are asking, what's Sofia's next Secret Library mission? Well, just recently, I've been hearing that Sofia will be going to the Mystic Isles this summer. And I don't know what the plot is going to be yet, but I just hope that this upcoming special will be really fantastic. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Be sure to join me again for my next vlog. Mustang Power!